Growing talk of sticking it to the rich, maybe some of these CEOs. White House advisor Steve Bannon is reportedly looking, excuse me, at a top rate of 44%. Former Trump transition team member, Cincinnati Mayor Ken Blackwell. Ken, what do you make of that?
I hope my buddy hasn't fallen and bumped his head. That's a crazy notion. And he ought to, in fact, look at the Hippocratic Oath and say, first, do no harm. We need to get capital infusion in our economy, so that means that we have to take the capital rate down to 15%. But President Trump has promised that he will, in fact, make life better for middle-class families in this country, and I think he gets that by doubling the exemption rate. Capital follows the path of least resistance and greatest opportunity, and raising the top marginal rate to 44% would fly against that logical path.
There's got to be a reason for it, Ken. You know, you're smarter at this stuff than I am, and White House intrigue, but you don't just throw something like that out there without a reason. What do you think?
Well, I would hope that he wants to sort of fire up the base of the middle class and those who, in fact, see and what, you know, it plays to a foolhardy notion. As you know, for the last 21 years, I've been holding this book and talking to groups across the nation. I was part of the Kemp Commission, and Jack and I edited this work called The IRS versus the People. We called for a simple, flat tax, but more importantly, we basically said we had to get in control of not only the administrative state, but a growing welfare state that actually impinged upon, you know, individual liberty and our
so even
our
discussion of a top rate, even up to the 5 million, would go against that. But I think there might be a method to this, and hear me out on this. I don't obviously support any time raising taxes here, but it would be a way to counter criticism you'll get from the left that, you know, obviously the Republicans are in the hip pocket of the rich, and to say, well, we're going to pay for a lot of this by slapping a tax on you know, the 5 million and over folks. Now, that will get you at most $18 billion, and all is said and done. That's barely, you know, a few months' worth of Medicare spending. I exaggerate to make the point that it doesn't really get you that far, but that they could use that as cover, maybe to win Democrats toward a tax package or down the road, you know, an infrastructure campaign. What do you think?
Well, look, if it's a political talking point, if he's being a political gadfly, that's one thing. But I think that's dangerous because we would send the wrong signal to the market. What we're talking about is fueling, you know, our economy with by repatriating the $2 trillion sitting on the fence offshore. We're talking about gearing up small businesses, and as a consequence, I think we focus on the middle class and make the Democrats argue against, you know, doubling the exemption rate. Make them argue against economic growth and job creation by arguing against lowering and making more competitive our corporate tax rate. Look, I don't think we have to throw out, you know, crazy notions like a top marginal rate of 44% to engage the Democrats in a fair and honest debate. We need real tax cuts, and we need real relief in the middle class, and we need to get our economy growing again. And the way that you do that, and we all know it, is by bringing that top marginal rate down to 15%, repatriating those trillions of dollars offshore, growing our economy, raising incomes.
You'll get a lot of that money coming back. We'll see what happens. Ken, it's always a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Always good being with you.
Ken Blackwell.